Okay, now what I'm going to show you is the first position that is probably the most popular for Vale Tudo fighting. It is definitely by far the most controlling position out there, and it's called the mount position, Tate Shiho Gatame. Okay, so I'm going to bring in Jeff Blake as my assistant. Okay, he's on his back. Okay, so if I can scoot you around here. All right. So in this position, let's say the person is high on you here. Okay, your elbows are up. Okay, the person's sitting here, high, getting ready to pop up to either attack you or to punch your face. Okay, so your first escape we're going to use. It's pretty basic, but it works pretty much all the time. Okay, from right here, my elbows, as they're up high like this, get them up a little higher. This is called bow tie position because my arms are kind of bow tied. So he could either attack an arm, or arm lock. Okay. Okay. This is also good for him because this is harder for me to defend my face because my arms are up. So what I want to do is I want to shimmy and get my elbows down a little bit so I can control. Okay. For Vale Tudo style fighting, he's going to be punching and doing what he can. So I want to bridge him. As I bridge, I hit the hand on the back of his head and I grab my wrist and I keep it up nice and tight, keep my head tight. He's going to lift up. Okay. As he lifts up here, this is really hard for him because he's got all his weight. He's got all his weight on his hands. So it's hard for him to sit up and really get a good shot. He can sting the back of my head a little bit. Okay, which is okay. But it's not a good solid shot. So from right here, as he starts to hit, as soon as the hand hits, I bridge and throw. Okay, so that's your first escape. One more time. Okay, from here I shimmy, get my arms down. Okay, I bridge. My hands hit the back of his head. I grab my wrist tight. My head's up nice and tight right under his chin. He starts to post up. He'll start to hit as he's hitting. As he's hitting here, as soon as he hits and as soon as I feel contact, I bridge over the top and roll. Okay, my follow-up from here, right from here, is head in, hands to the biceps, feet on the balls of my feet, and squeezing his hips just like that, elbows into control. This will allow me to back out to hit or to work my passage from here. Okay. One more time. Okay, so this is when my head is tight and he lifts up and he hits a little bit, okay? As he hits, boom, bridge, okay? The second way is as he pulls up, okay, he really can't get a good shot. He can sting me a little bit, but this isn't anything, okay? He's not gonna knock me out from here, okay? I don't wanna take 30 shots, but I'm not gonna get knocked out from the spot. So as soon as he starts to peel my face off, as soon as I start to fall, I let go and I push his shoulder and his hip back at the same time. At the same time, I shrink my hips out and move away. He's gonna come back into me, and if he does, I just insert a knee. This will allow me to heel hook him, or will allow me, he'll kick off and try to come around to control, okay? One more time. So, shimmy, grab, he lifts up, he starts to peel my face down as I start to go, peel, hip away. Now, even if he's to punch here, he has no power because he's going backwards. Okay, this will allow me to get this in, or will allow me to go to my knees to drive. Okay, one more time. Hip away and up. Okay, we're going to do the same technique now from the side. So again, you have to shimmy your elbows down first, okay? Now he's gonna hip up like that, And as he starts to hip up, that's going to allow him to punch, to get a really good solid shot. When he punches, he doesn't just punch from here. He can rip a shot good, but he wants to really get that thing up. And usually it's better if he puts a hand on my throat or his hands across my eyes. Okay, so when I wipe it, that punch comes straight down. And it's usually because the elbow is high. Okay, it doesn't come from the side. So again, what I've got to do is I've got to bridge him. As I bridge, I climb. Both hands hit. As a reference point, both hands hit the back of his head. Clinch, grab your wrists, and climb up. Hold it tight. Okay, now as I've got all my weight, now, all my weight's going to be on his shoulders. So what I'm going to do, as he hits me, I'm going to time it. So as I feel something hit, as soon as I feel that, that's when I bridge over the top and roll. Okay? And from this position, I go to control the bicep. My knees are nice and tight against his hips to neutralize the position so he can't slide his hips out. Okay? My elbows stay in tight, and I'm on the balls of my feet, just like that. Okay? This will allow you to start to pass, to work your passing and your hands. Okay? You're gonna shimmy. Bridge, grab it, goes to hit, bridge over the top. Okay? Come up, control, good control. Okay. Now we're going to do the second escape from the high mount from the side. Okay, so I have the position. He starts to hip up. Okay. He can't peel my face from here. He's got to hip down into me. And he starts to peel my face across. As he starts to peel, I start to lose my hands. You can see my hands start to slip. I push and hip away. And then I either come to this position or come into one leg in the middle for the leg loop, or push to get out to come to my knees. Okay, one more time. Keep it tight, grab, control, peels my face, hip away, knee in, heel hook, kick out, come back up. Against the mount position, the high mount position, the bridge can be used almost every single time, but it's all based on timing, okay? So one thing that I like to do that I work all the time is my bridging. My bridging. With other people, with myself on the floor, do it on the wall, but bridging. And it's all based on your timing. So what we're going to do now is the same position. We go mount, he's in a high position. Now my hands, again, I've got to shimmy. Now my hands, when he starts to hip up, what I want to do is I want to control. When he goes to punch, I want to block like this. When he punches, I've got to slip. And I'm going to use my hand to the outside like that. Punch, slip to the outside. If he punches, I bring my arm on the inside and I bring my arm on the inside like that. Okay, these are two ways that you're going to deflect the punch. So if he punches straight down, move your head and pass. Punch, move your head and pass. Number two is he punches and I do arm insert and move my head on the inside and bring it in. If I just use my arm straight up like this, he can still punch through. Okay, so when I do that, I've got to really over-exaggerate and put my head inside my arm. Okay, so if I can grab his wrist, this is what I want to have. If I could go 2-on-1, this is okay, but one hand's open. That's why I would use this hand like that to deflect, okay? But again, remember, everything's in turbo motion, so things are probably 10 times faster than normal speed, okay? So you have 2-on-1. I can grab his elbow, or grab his elbow and bring it down. I can also hold his wrist or his elbow and his head. And if I can try to keep him in tight so I can bridge him to roll him. Okay, so all I'm gonna do right now is if he's down, I shimmy, he goes to punch, I'm gonna deflect to grab, if I can grab his wrist. All I do is place two hands up high and bridge the opposite way. And I'm up. As soon as I come up, I control positions, I'm on my knees. Okay, control the hands and work your pinch on the hips, up on the balls of your feet, head up. Okay, one more time. Let's take it from the side position. Okay, shimmy, goes to punch. I deflect, control the wrists. I bring both wrists to one side, just like that, and I bridge the opposite way. As I come up, I control his wrists. Usually he'll keep his legs tight around my waist. And then I square up my hips to his hips, keep these nice and tight. Okay. Okay, the same thing now is if he goes a punch, I bridge him. And now I reach up and I hook the arm and I bridge and roll over the top. Same thing, control the bicep, square up the hips. He goes to strike, I hip, boom, I hook. If I can get two, it's fine. Bridge and roll. Control the hips, up on the tippy toes, so your pressure's forward. Control, so you can start work your passing and your striking. Okay, this next position is called low mount, and that's when a person has their hips into you from the mounted position. Tate shiho gatame is a Japanese term, also known as mount position. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my hips in. Usually I'll hook the head. Okay, in order to prevent him from rolling, I hook the head and hook the arm both. Okay, right now most people will just hook the head and they'll hip down and they'll try to either choke or they'll try to neck crank. Okay, so this is just for a full control. Okay, in wrestling they call this what's it called?
Reverse half.
Reverse half or Saturday night special. Okay, hips in. Straighten your legs out, your hooks are on. This is called low mount. Just like that, hips in, good control. Okay, you can do two versions. You can go hips down or you cross your feet, hips down. The cross feet is not to allow someone to bring their legs out. This one is just to control their legs and keep my hips in, okay? And again, the control is either there or here. Okay. So, when he's here, the key thing here now, he's got his legs in, okay? Usually he'll hook the head. So to prevent the head from having too much pressure on it, you've got to hold just with these three fingers, grab the shoulder and just really pull it down and control it. And both sides is okay, or one side, either depends on where he's at. If his shoulder's into my neck and my face, I've really got to dig this in and just keep my elbow down to my side, okay? Now what I've got to do, because he's got my leg grapevine, okay, and his hips are into me, hips are down, okay? What I've got to do now is I've got to straighten this leg and get it free. Once it's free, I put it flat on the ground. Now from right here, with this other hand, he can punch. So sometimes I'll just put my hand on his bicep. Now from right here, keep it tight, use your hand, bring your leg underneath his leg. Okay, I do the same, I control. I do the same on the other side. Straighten my leg, put it under the other side. He's now in my guard. Okay, keep him tight. There's two ranges in the guard. Tight and hip up, far away. There's no medium range. This is not a good position for me because I'm in striking range. We call this striking circle. He's in the striking circle and so am I, okay? Of course, you're going to be in this position momentarily as a transitionary position, but generally for fighting, you want to have one knee in, two knees in, or keep the person as tight as you possibly can, okay? Okay, so he's mounted, his hooks are in, he's got my head, he's squeezing, his hips are down, control, leg loose, get it free, 1, 2, guard position. One more time, let's go from this position. Okay. Control the bicep if he's punching. Bang, control. Keep your head in because if he can headbutt, it's still not good. If I leave my head lower than his, he's going to hurt himself. Okay, straighten your leg out, get it free, put it on the floor. Okay, use your hand, get it underneath. 1, control, trap the leg, get your other leg free, put it under guard position. Okay, he'll probably try to work to try to get up. Just hold him nice and tight. Okay, if he starts to really pull up and pry me off him, that's when your legs will come in to control, or I bring one knee in the middle.